7.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. So good, good. I just want to make sure that everybody is, I mean, that you're doing, wait, hold on one second. Let me make sure that, all right, there we go. That, that you're doing well in your trading. If you're following the trading plan, that's good. I just heard who's that said that they were on week 7.
Vaughn. Yvonne. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so week 7, that's awesome. Right, week 7, that's awesome. So I know that there are, we have a we have the compound plan back there in the back office, and there are some more that's going to go up just based on different pips, 10 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips. I know we have a 50 pip one. I've been working on the other ones. So there are videos as well that I'm wrapping up. So those will be back there in the Homeland Security. All right. So just in case our members want to do some of the other compound plans that has to do with just the fewer pips, because we have that 10 to win strategy and all of those things that you'll know what you're working with when it comes to like how much you're getting a day and all of that. And of course, based on if you're trading currency pairs, if you're trading the indices or whatever it is that you're trading. So that's awesome. I am so glad to hear that. And there was what was it, last week when we did the meditation before NFP, there was something that was said in that meditation about of course, our wins and our losses. We all know we need to journal our trading when we're trading. The thing that stuck out about that that was said in that meditation about our wins are in our losses, and make sure that we journal that, because we can see, when we look at it, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is what happened, this is what I did, and this is the reason why, so forth and so on. And something that I do just to share, I usually take a screenshot to keep up with my win, my gains and my losses. But then also I take a screenshot of not just the setup, but when you go back to your window where you see, your setup, your candles and everything, I take a screenshot of that as well. I'm not sure if there are others who are using MT5, but I've been using MT5 for I think about a year now. Yeah, I think it's been about a year or a little over a year. And on MT5, it shows you just by arrows where you're entering and exiting. Whether again you take profit or whether you close out a trade. Hopefully we're not getting margin called. But if you do get margin called, it's going to show you that as well. So I take a screenshot of that so that I can see, and keep track of those entries, of those exits. And it's pretty amazing to see, because a lot of times you can see where your trade will, the market will go back to those points, so you being able to see it, that's something that you can keep a log of as well. Then I have it in a nice little folder that I keep in my phone, trade proofs and all of those things. So that's something good to have if you want to do that, if you have MT5, right? So we're going to go ahead and get into this segment of becoming a disciplined trader, part 3, and our basic psychological prep. is that if you are to gain anything from this course, it is imperative that you get away from everyone if you possibly can, even in mind, right? Be alone, quiet, and still, because fundamental principles are revealed after we have withdrawn to some secluded place where we are not disturbed. Having done this, dismiss everything else from your mind and give me your undivided attention. This will enable you to concentrate on the exhibits and explanations, study more studiously, think deeply, and better understand the concepts throughout this discourse. So as always, have your 5 subject notebooks. And at this point, we probably have 2. So, so that's why I have that here. It consists of your trading plan, your trading journal, your trading strategy, your trading psychology journal, and your trading notes. And for one of our prerequisite readings, and that we're on now, I was actually attempting to change these chapters. For some reason, my PowerPoint was just acting crazy. So we're probably not on chapters 3 and 4, because we did go over that in book club this past Friday. So with Becoming the Disciplined Trader, this is what we are on. We do have the PDF in our Cashville library. So make sure that you have that and that you're keeping up with it and reading those chapters. So to become a disciplined trader, this is what we must do. All right. And this is the reason why we have trading psychology, because psychology is a very important part of trading. However, it is a very important part of life. Okay, because we always say this, right? I always say this. The psyche, our psyche is our mind, right? The mind, soul, psyche is synonymous. And it was believed or thought to believe that the mind is the brain, right? But the mind is not the brain. The brain is an organ in our body that has its function, right? The CNS, or the central nervous system, comprises of the brain and the spine, right? Like the spinal cord. And of course, that's encased in our vertebrae, because that's that bony, the bony structure in our body that protects the spine, right? Or the spinal cord. But then off of that spinal cord, there are branches of other nerves. That's the peripheral nervous system that branches out to our arms and link all into the different parts, and our down below, and our legs, and branches off to those different parts of the body. And so that is how the brain, right, with those neurological impulses and things like that, it sends messages to the muscles in order for the muscles to move the bones. That's how we move. It's if you think of it like the electrical wiring of our body, right? So, but those are physical organs and structures in our body for the body to function, right? But the mind is not that, right? The mind is not that. And so the mind is really operating through our entire body. So it's not a something that you can, like, you could take the brain and look at it and research it and slice it up and do all of those types of things, but you can't do that with the mind. Okay, so the mind is the soul, and it operates through our entire body, and so we must understand it. Okay, we have to understand the mind, and everyone really has you have your own mind. All right. So not only do you want to understand your own mind, you also want to understand other people's minds. We want to understand the mind of the consumer, right? That's consumer psychology, in which is what we'll get into. And the reason why we want to do that is because that's what makes this market move. Consumers make the market move. Businesses, when we're trading currency. We're trading currency of countries, right? We may be trading, if we're trading NAS, right? When you think about these indices, if you're trading NAS, if you're trading US 30, if you're trading SPX 500 or US 500, these comprise of different companies, but these companies are not standalones, right? Humans work in these companies, and humans consume, the services or products of these companies, right? Humans with minds exchange currency, right? It's humans that are in a country exchanging for goods and services. And so we have to understand the mind of the consumer, right? We need to understand how the mind functions. We need to understand how the mind can be manipulated or is manipulated, right? And then also understand how to have dominion in your own mind, because that is what will give you not only the understanding of the consumer mind that gives you an edge, but then also having dominion in your own mind that gives you that edge to minimize your losses, right? Minimize your losses and have substantial gains, or becoming that profitable trader. And being a profitable trader, you must be a disciplined trader, right? So
let's see if
hold on. I went a little bit too quick. All right. So we're going to get into this portion of, which is a series of consumer psychology, and and understand how this all came to be. This is what this is really about. Consumer psychology, this was something that was formulated really by psychologists, right? By psychologists. And if you don't know, there's some, renowned psychologists, but there's Freud, right? Sigmund Freud, in which in the if you haven't watched the other parts, because we're on part 3 now, so there's part 2, there's part 1, and there's Sigmund Freud, where he was a psychologist, and then he had his he had a nephew, and so he was teaching his nephew different things, as far as psychology was concerned. And his nephew took what he learned from his uncle, and then he basically, I don't want to say he's the father of consumer psychology, but he was able to do some things when it came to psychology, and he formulated the things that we know today as consumer psychology. And really, it's the reason why people behave the way that they behave when it comes to consumer products. All right. So we need to know and understand the origin of that, so that, again, it gives us the edge that we have in the market. All right. So let's go ahead. We're gonna make sure that you have your notes, right? Your 5 subject notebook, 10 of them or whatever, and take notes and make sure that anything that sticks out to you, right? That's something that you need to know, and make sure you write that down so that you can delve into it as time goes on, right? So this is where we end on YouTube. For those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, I'm Coach Hadassah, and I teach trade and psychology here at KPCFX, where we help our Forex students, release trapped emotions and self-limiting beliefs to restore their mental health in order to increase their wealth here at KPCFX and become disciplined and profitable traders. So if you want to know how you can become one of our students, make sure that you go into the description box and click that link below that you see there, and we welcome you. All right, so you all have a wonderful day. And now our students, we are about to